So the mutual awakening, back to the topic, is there's a way of waking up together. So it's different than some interpersonal thing. So there's a lot of value in developing our interpersonal relationships and our ability to be more cognizant of one another. But this is not that. It's actually a way of turning towards the space between us, and it's turning towards reality in a particular way that evokes what I'm sure many people are familiar with in here, the evolutionary impulse. There's some optimizing force, the dynamism of eros, of being, you know, of that which is creating the universe. When you turn in the right way together, something happens that you're not making happen, they're not making happen. You're not trying to manipulate your experience in any way. And there's something about that turning where you wake up together and you're inside of a space together. So it's different than, you know, if Tom's awake and I'm awake and then we're sharing something together, that's one level of unity. You know, there are different levels of unity, which I'm not going to go into right now, but I'll give you a couple of them. So one is Tom's awake, I'm awake, and then we're sharing a kind of connection together. The next level up would be we wake up together inside of something. So we're in the same reality. It's like, you know, where you're, you know, the man, Peter, who is the mystic that I discovered this practice with, we spent 4 years living it together. And it's like you're on drugs or something. You're inside and you're walking around going, wow, look at that tree. You know, I mean, where you're seeing something together that's together. It's not my experience and his experience. We're inside the same reality, noticing and pointing to things and actually feeling awake simultaneously. So there's that kind of unity, which is this mutual awakening. Is step one is that. And step two is that unity awakens to itself. So the other thing you can begin to work on, it's something that we work on in the Evolutionary Collective, is that we're facilitating something waking up to itself that without us it can't do. And, you know, for me, that's somehow at this stage of my life, that's what I am the most devoted to being in service of. And it's not like you always know how to do it, but somehow the way in which we're configuring, we're facilitating something that's waking up to itself, that in that awakening is providing something for us as well. And I think, you know, I don't know what it's up to, but basically I trust that whatever it's awakening to itself, the strength of that will actually be something that we need for existence, for humanity, for the next era. Charles Eisenstein, who I'm sure some of you are familiar with, I talked to him a couple times on the global webcast thing that I do. And he calls it the age of reunion. Some people call it unity consciousness. And then Thich Nhat Hanh called it interbeing. But that wherever we're going, it's definitely the new paradigm that's really the new work. You know, for those of us that are wanting to be on the edge of where things are going, which is people like yourselves, it's not so much about our subjective experience anymore. We need to still be awake to our own process. You know, that the last 40 years has been this amazing process of learning how to meditate, how to do yoga, how to, you know, do somatic work, and how to be attuned to our feelings and, you know, past lives and, you know, childhood and, you know, different astral connections. And you all could add to that list where you go, yes, and then, and then, and then. I mean, it has been a plethora of work that never existed before. You know, I'm sure, like, if you watch Mad Men, you know, back in the 1961, people were not paying attention to their interior experience like we are. And so there's been a refinement of, you know, having boundaries and sensing things in your aura and all of that, that has you know, millions of people and millions of hours and time and energy has poured into our discovering of our subjective experience, you know, from being enlightened to just being awake to what's happening in your body. And, you know, thank God for that. And it needs to keep going. But the next domain of where I believe at least the next 40 or 50 years probably will be this intersubjective domain, like what's happening when we're awake inside together.